Drop the gun! Show me your hands!
Milwaukee, Wisconsin was recently ranked the 40th most dangerous city in the world for 2023. Milwaukee's population peaked in the 1960s and has been on a steady decline since. In fact, they are currently at 1920s levels. 39% of the city's population is black, yet you can see by this graph that the most of the homicide victims are black. In fact, going back to 2015, only 3 years were below 80%, and none were below 70%, with the worst year easily being 2021, when 88% of the murder victims were black in Milwaukee. And there were nearly 200 murders that year. As of the recording of this video, and using information updated through April 4th, there have been 44 homicides in Milwaukee this year. 80% black, 16% Hispanic, and 2% white. The one white guy killed was a police officer named Peter Jerving, and he was killed in the line of duty by this fine, upstanding citizen named Terrell Thompson. When you think about 9 years of homicides, that 6 of the years had 80% or higher black victims. And 2016, that's not on this graph, was 79% black victims, so nearly 80%. It makes you wonder if it's by design, especially when you look at a graph like this showing the percentage of homicides with charges filed. Not one year even comes close to 50%. Not one. In 2016, charges were filed in 57% of the cases. In 2017, 64%, and 2018, they were at 50%. But since then, it's all been below 42%. And this year is at only 20%. Now, I'm not blaming the police for this, as they are just one step on the justice system ladder. I don't know how many arrests were made, just how many charges were filed. But since 2019, charges were filed in only 308 of 753 homicides. So from January 1st of 2019 through April 4th of 2023, 445 murderers got away with it, possibly to do it again. And again, it makes you wonder if it's by design. They barely charge people with crimes anymore. They give bond to pretty much anyone for anything, including murder. Trial dates are often multiple years out, leaving someone released on bond for murder who knows when he does go to trial, he will likely be locked up for a long time, free to roam the streets and do what he will until that court date, assuming he shows up for court. So we know 80% of the victims are black, and people tend to kill those of their own race. So 80% of the murderers are likely black, except in the case of the white cop, as he was killed by a black man as well. So likely 82% of the killers were black. So we know this data to be factual based on the information released from the city. So we know who is killing who, and we know what rate, the percentage of 80% or higher victims in a population that is only 39% black, is a huge disparity. Yet we allow it to continue. So again, you have to ask yourself, is it by design? Milwaukee has been ranked the 40th most dangerous city in the world. In the world. Its murder rate in 2014 was 15. In the summer of Floyd 2020, that number jumped to 32. And last year, in 2022, it was at 40. In less than 10 years, it went from slightly bad to being ranked the 40th most dangerous city in the world. To date this year, they've had 12 less homicides than they had at this time last year. But last year was a really bad year. So it's better, but nowhere near good. So again, they know who's doing it, who it's being done to, and yet nothing changes to make it better. In fact, any changes that are made actually seem to make the problem worse. So ask yourself, Is it by design? Because one could easily deduct from this information that it is.